Hello students, welcome to MBA 360. A lot of students have written to us of trying to understand what are the options that they have if they want to pursue MBA and where the applications are still open. And obviously, we actually had a responsibility to ensure that we only list out those colleges which have been there for a longer period of time. They've been serving the student community for about 20-30 years and have been delivering consistent outcomes. For that, obviously, we wanted to look at information so that we're very, very clear that the information is at NRF or at a governmental level, and still we can actually recommend those kind of institutions. So what I'm going to do right now is to list out some of the B schools that are there in south of India only. We've done one for Delhi, if you remember. We're going to list out those colleges which are open only in south of India, and we'll obviously shortlisted them based on some kind of a criteria that we actually have for ourselves, which is how transparent is the data, how good is the institution, how long the university has been there, and how they've been delivering on student outcomes. Based on that, I've listed out a few B schools. Please watch this, and then obviously if you want to apply, you can apply for that, because they're all open for application as we speak. And we are right now in the last week of March, but still these are open for application. You can actually apply to them. Before I move further, I always have 3 requests for you. First, please do subscribe to MBA 360 if you've not done that. 2, if you want to talk to any of our counselors, there is a WhatsApp number here. Please message us and one of our counselors will call you, because a lot of parents have written to us, spoken with us, saying that they can't obviously put up all the details on social media, especially in the message box. So I understand your confidentiality and will be happy to talk to you personally also. And 3, if you want us to cover any other B school of your choice, please write to us here and we'll be happy to cover that. Now about this particular B schools that we're talking of, let me list out now the B schools that you should be looking at, which we've put that in perspective. The first one is Vellore School of thing. By the way, this entire sequence is not in any particular order. We only are shortlisting colleges. It's not that the hierarchy or the serialization is meant based on the quality of the institution. We are just putting it together in a sense that we're shortlisting some colleges for you that you can be looking at this point in time in south of India. If you want to move to north and all, that also we've done earlier. Please watch that, and we'll also be doing one for west and east kind of a thing, right? Now, as far as south of India is concerned, one of them is VIT Business School. Now, VIT Business School is a relatively new one in that sense. The university, VIT University was actually had a tender, LOI for being the institution of eminence, which means the top 10 private universities in the country. So the reason why we are recommending this is VIT as a university is very, very well known, and they also started an MBA course, and the MBA course is doing decently well. Like our own ranking is 42 best in the private category. Right, their highest CT is 15 lakh rupees. The average CTC, what they claim, is about 9.68 lakh rupees, and the fee is relatively lower. Right, the fee is so low enough that possibly you will be able to recover your fees in the very first year itself, and that's the reason why we're recommending this particular thing, because VIT being is very, very aggressive in placing its students across the VIT examination for BTech students also, or for these ones also. And from that perspective, you will actually have a university which will work to ensure that you get placed after you finish your education, and that's the reason why we are recommending this. One is, and they have recruiters like SBI, Flipkart, Marico, Microsoft, HFFC, Federal Bank, South Indian Bank, City Union Bank, ICICI Bank, Reliance Industries Limited, Deloitte, Tata, TCS, Cognizant, Burger. So you actually have all kinds of companies, right from FMCG to consultancy to tech companies to banks to start new age startups. Everyone you would have it. And as I said, the reason why we're recommending is this. Your recovery, the fee is low enough for you. Currently, the lot of MBA fees is shooting off the roof, 15 lakh, 20 lakh, 25 lakh kind of a thing. From that perspective, these people charge moderately, and you have a reasonable chance of getting placed also. The ROI is more or less assured in that sense. So from that perspective, we're recommending VIT Business School, which is based in Chennai. And VIT University, you all know, is one of the largest engineering universities in the country, which has now started this program also. The second one is IP in Hyderabad. This is earlier, it's a public institution in a certain sense, but autonomous now, private and autonomous now, because it's moved to a trust. It was originally created to serve the public enterprises of the country. So a lot of all the public enterprises that we have, all the PSUs that you have, they used to go to IP to do their management development programs and learn from their training sessions were happening at IP. This is earlier part of the Usmania University, and then it's moved out now, has a separate campus and within part of Hyderabad, by the way, right? And then they started PGDM programs for normal students also. It's 39th best private based school in the country based on our own rating and ranking. About 1,012 students they have, 55% are boys, 45% are girls. The fee is 9 lakh, again a moderate thing. One of the things that we are showing now is we are only possibly talking of those where the ROI is more or less managed is what we're looking at. and 9 lakh fee, they actually have a 90% kind of a placement and 7.72 lakh. So you essentially again here also recover your fees within the 15 months kind of a thing, which is 1 year to 1.5 year kind of a thing. That's the reason why it's recommending. And as I told you, in Hyderabad, it is one of the better ones that you have there. So you must be looking at it. And by the way, again, let me remind you, we are only talking of those that are still open for application. We are not talking of those which are closed application, because in that case, in Bangalore, in Hyderabad and all, you have very, very good ones. Like you have IBS Hyderabad, which we are not talking of it because the application deadline is over. Similarly, in Bangalore, you have a few ones. So we're not talking of those where the application deadline is over. We're only talking of where even today, end of March 2026, we still have the applications open. The third one is Ven University in Hyderabad, established in 2020, and here the fee is about 15 lakh rupees and the placement is about 8.5 lakh, 65% placement. So it's one of the decent options that you have in the current context, 15 lakhs and 8.5 lakhs. Of course, the ROI seems to be a bit dodgy here and 65% placement, but still, if you still want to do an MBA, then this is one more option that you have. Then you have Christ University in Bangalore. Now this is very, very good as far as BBA is concerned. In undergrad programs, Christ really ranks up. They also started the MBA program. It's a private university, of course. NRF rank is 57 B school, 7th best B school. But I do have a problem with this 60% placement in 7.6 lakh. But because of the Christ name is why we are recommending this. The fee is only 9.35 lakh. The placement is 7.6 lakh, which means you're dealing with 1.5 year maximum, 1 year, 15 months kind of a thing to recover your thing. But I do have a problem with the 61% placement that happens, which means 39% students are not getting placed. That's a problem for me. But the name of Christ is very, very good. So from that perspective, this is a recommendation. The next one is Alliance University in Bangalore. It was earlier, a standalone B school, then it morphed into a university, and now it's doing all kinds of courses, B.Tech, law and all. It's known well for its B school and law programs. And here the fee is about 15 lakh rupees. If you look at it, the ranking, NRF ranking, which is Government of India ranking, is 71st best B school in the country. 1,080 students is what they have, of which 49% are boys and 51% are girls. So this is one of those B schools where the gender ratio is on the reverse. Typically, it's normally more boys and less girls. And here they have more girls and less boys. And the placement is about 81.25%, and the median salary is 8 lakh rupees. Right. So that is the reason why we are talking of it. Of course, if you look at it very carefully, you actually recover your fees in almost 2 years' time. But still, because of the NRF ranking that you have, which is 71st B school, we are recommending this. The next one is Jain University in Bangalore. Again, the Government of India ranking is 73rd best B school in the country. The fee is about 8 to 9 lakh rupees. 53% are boys, 54% are boys, and 46% are girls. And the 98% placement at 8.5 lakh rupees. Now that's a very good number, because if you look at it again, you recover all your fees in first year itself. So from that perspective, these are, and by the way, more importantly, almost all students are getting placed as far as the disclosure to the Government of India is concerned. So that's the reason why it was shortlisted for you. The next one is JAXOM. This was earlier called IFIM. Now this is owned by the Padode family, which is also owns the Dalal Street Journal, which is one of the earliest stock market magazines that you had in the country. And they started this JAXOM in 1995. So 31 years old is what it is. With that legacy, you would normally have a lot of credibility going with it. And they changed the name sometime in 2015, 20 or something like that. It's a private B school, of course. Our rating is 4 A's, 571 students, 63% are boys, 36% are girls. Fee is 14 lakh rupees. And 85% of students were placed at 8 lakh rupees. Right. They also have a university in Karjat in Maharashtra, very close to Bombay, called Vijay Bhumi University. So they also have a lot of partnerships where some of the foreign college universities are coming there, and they actually have a lot of partnerships where while you're studying at JAXOM, you can also study there, and those kind of things happen. There is a greater detailing to that. Maybe some other day we'll talk about it. But with the kind of legacy it has, the kind of rating and ranking it has, the kind of placement it has, we thought it should be shortlisted for you. The next one is SCMS Cochin School of Business. This is in Cochin. Here, the total students are 202, of which 113 are boys and 89 are girls. The fee is very moderate at 8 lakh rupees, and 95% students placed at 6.9 lakh. So you essentially again recover all your fees in 13 to 14 months, and that is one reason why it's come here. Right. Our own rating is about 52nd best private B school in the country, Career 360. But in this area, if you want to study in these parts and all, this becomes a very, very good option for you. The next one is a public institution, which is Indian Institute of Insurance and Risk Management. This is promoted by, if I'm not wrong, IRDA, which is a regulatory agency. Our own rating is AAA. Our own rating is AAA. 243 students, of which 141 are boys and 102 are girls. 10.75 lakh is the fee, right? And they actually have a 92% placement. The thing is, because it's a part of the regulatory system, a regulator, which is Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, has formed this. Your placements are with a lot of insurance companies. So if you want to do a specialized MBA, especially in insurance, you understand mathematics and understand statistics and all, then this is a very, very good option for you, because it gives you a very, very specialized MBA and in institution which is public institution in that sense, so it actually works for you, and your recovery is within 1.5 years, if you notice this. The next one is Amrita University Hyderabad in Coimbatore. This is one of the possibly the top 2-3 private universities in the country. Based on all rankings, you take off international rankings or domestic rankings. If you look at private university ranking within that as a filter, then Amrita would be in the second or third, or first or second or third, depending on who you look at. But the university is extremely, extremely good, and they do have a MBA program in Coimbatore. And because of the kind of legacy it has, it's been there for a long, long time, since 1994. So we're dealing with about 32 years of legacy. It also has a lot of companies coming for placement because the university itself is very good. The research, the undergrad programs are all so good, and a lot of companies visit them. And because of that, they actually have managed to also place most of the students as far as the B school students are concerned. So they placed 91% of the students at 7.6 lakh rupees. The fees at 14 lakh rupees, and there are 54% boys and 46% girls. And by the way, all the data I'm giving is what has been submitted to Government of India, right? So this data is something that they submitted to Government of India for NIRF, which is National Institutional Ranking Framework, which is a ranking agency for the Government of India, Ministry of Education. So this data, whatever I'm showing, is from that perspective, and we are also trying to understand the kind of ROI that you have for this shortlisting purpose. So Amrita again gets shortlisted. The next one is SRM Institute of Science and Technology, which is in Chennai. Now this again is one of the better universities. It's been there for a long, long time, 1985. So we're dealing with about close to 40 years plus kind of a service. And it's ranked 56th best in NIRF also as a B school, right? They have 900 students, 62% are boys, 38% are girls. The fee is 9 lakh rupees, which is very moderate. And the placement is 8.65 lakh, which is about 96% students are getting placed at 8.65 lakh, which means that you recover your fee within one year, 1 month. And that is the reason why it got shortlisted, right? So these are the at this point in time, again, let me repeat, these are colleges that are open for application at this point in time. We're only talking of those that are open for application at this point in time. This is not a rating nor ranking, nor have we put it in any particular order. We're only looked out for those institutions which are still open for application, for those students who want to do an MBA, and put them in some kind of, we shortlisted them for you on different parameters. Of course, the kind of institution that we're talking about, the legacy that the institution has, and the kind of ranking if it has, and the kind of placement and ROI that it will do. So based on those things, we only shortlisted them, and it is for you ultimately to decide whether you want to do an MBA or not. I keep telling students every single time that do an MBA only if you get into a good institution. If you're not getting into an institution that gives you comfort, don't do it. Wait, pause for a year, wait for a year, go work somewhere and then come back, do an MBA. That's a far better option. This is for me a shortlisting of those those institutions where you can actually apply and get into it if you are very keen to do an MBA. Nothing more, nothing less. I hope this helps you. Thank you so much. Namaste.